All right, welcome to today's Explainer. We are diving straight in. And today, we're basically taking a sledgehammer to one of the most stubborn modern illusions out there, the myth of overnight success. We see it everywhere, right? But instead of buying into that fantasy, we're going to map out the actual, sustainable, step-by-step architecture of true achievement.
Let's kick things off with Section 1, the overnight success myth.
Okay, picture this. Setting a goal to hit a world record squat, or maybe gaining 1 million subscribers in just a few days, becoming a CEO in a year, or, deciding to run a marathon tomorrow when your most rigorous training lately has been the sprint to the fridge. It sounds completely comical when you say it out loud, yet we live in this fast-paced world, scrolling through highlight reels all day, that constantly tempts us to expect exactly these kinds of massive results by tomorrow morning.
But let's just ground ourselves in reality for a second. Overnight achievements? They are simply impossible without a rigorous process. You can't just set a target to break a world record and completely bypass the deeply committed journey it takes to actually get there. And here's the thing, the journey isn't the obstacle. It's actually the very thing that psychologically qualifies you to handle and hold on to that success once you finally arrive.
Which brings us to Section 2, why we give up. So when those instant results inevitably fail to show up, we hit a crossroads. The easy path? Well, that's the path of least resistance. That's giving up, complaining, maybe feeling a little jealous of the people who seem to have it all figured out. We've all been there, usually around day 2 of a New Year's resolution, right? But the hard path is where the magic happens. It requires the unglamorous, relentless, everyday work of sticking to a strict routine day in and day out, just to see the most microscopic improvements.
And that leads us to a pretty timeless truth. Easy come, easy go. Even if, by some absolute freak lottery ticket chance, massive success did just land in your lap overnight, it would probably vanish just as quickly. Why? Because you haven't taken the time to build the underlying psychological and practical architecture you actually need to sustain it.
Okay, moving right along to Section 3, mindset for higher standards.
Now, if we really want to shift away from that easy path, it demands deliberate sacrifice. Excellence literally has a cover charge. Whether you're adjusting your diet, totally overhauling your daily routines, or really dedicating yourself to a bigger purpose, you simply cannot attain a higher standard while fiercely holding on to those comfortable, lower standard habits. It's just not going to work.
And part of that new mindset requires accepting a really hard truth. Success absolutely requires navigating challenges and failures. Think of any successful person you admire. I guarantee you they have run an absolute gauntlet of crushing failures. But the difference is, they didn't avoid the friction. They used it to sharpen themselves. For them, failure is just data. It's just information showing you exactly how to refine your architecture.
Let's look at how we actually do that in Section 4, building success brick by brick. I want you to really stop and ask yourself something. What did you do yesterday? This question right here is the absolute core of progressive action. To build sustainable success, you have to look at your most recent benchmark. What minor achievement did you unlock yesterday that gives you the logical, real-world confidence to push just a tiny bit further today?
Let's use a tangible example to put that into perspective. Think about adding an extra 10 kilograms to a barbell at the gym. You don't just strut in on day 1 and try to lift the entire gym, right? No way. You base today's target entirely on yesterday's achievement. Because you successfully lifted a certain amount yesterday, adding a small incremental 10 kg today is a constructive, highly achievable process. It feels doable, and because it feels doable, it practically guarantees adherence. You're far more likely to actually show up again tomorrow.
So, this gives us a really clear blueprint. First, set a visible, immediately achievable target. We're talking just the next step, not the entire mountain. Second, you hit it. Third, you generate undeniable self-confidence because, well, you just proved you could do it. And fourth, armed with that confidence, you courageously raise the bar. You don't try to build a massive wall all at once. You lay one single brick as perfectly as you can, and then you do it again. Through those interrelated, step-by-step achievements, you build absolutely unstoppable momentum.
And that brings us to our final point, Section 5, progress over perfection.
Listen. When we demand perfection from ourselves right out of the gate, we completely paralyze ourselves. Perfection is this impossible standard that usually leads right back to giving up. But consistent progress, consistent growth, that is where the real magic happens. It gives us the mettle, the toughness, and the resilience to pursue our deepest passions. It takes immense courage to keep going, and I'm telling you, that courage is exclusively forged in the fires of consistent progress.
So, as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with one vital, provocative question. When you think about the architecture of your own success, what is the single best, most achievable target right in front of you today? Not next year, not next month, today. Find that one brick you can lay down right now, conquer it, and let it be the rock-solid foundation for your next great achievement. Thanks so much for joining me. Keep building that momentum, and I'll catch you next time.